Hello everyone, welcome back to Ayumilove channel for another Awaken Chaos Era content. In today's video, I'll be going over the latest update that Awaken Chaos Era has released today, a few hours ago. So let's check them out together. So this is the update notice. Basically, this is the same old message where they want to improve our gaming experience. So probably this update will always come with new things that change and as well as some bug fixes. So the first update is the new water legendary hero, Tashir, is available in the advanced summoning rate up event. And the chance to summon her is 3 times in the advanced summon for a limited time. And probably I think this limit time is usually 1 week. And the second one would be the new magic pass, where we'll be able to obtain the natural healer Metasia from May 16 up to June 15. So basically this is the like some kind of battle pass from like other games, but they call it as a magic pass in Awaken Chaos Era. So if you do not have Metasia through obtaining her from the rookie summon, this is your chance to get her. She's one of the best supported hero to revive your heroes in Void Tower Heart, as well as for Arena, and good pairing with Uruzak in a Water Guild boss. And for the 3 times advanced summoning, it's basically 8% to obtain Tashir. So basically, right, currently there's around about 34 legendary heroes in the game. And if you were to add Tashir, the new legendary hero, that will be 35. And with the 3 times, it'll be like 3 copies of Tashir. So it's equivalent to like 37 legendaries. So 3 divided by 37 is roughly around about 8% in order to obtain Tashir. So that's a rough estimate. So for the bug fixes, they fixed the bug where we weren't able to lock and unlock gear during the multi-battle result page. For me personally, I do not really use this lock and unlock during a multi-battle, so because I usually perform my cleansing, gear cleansing at the heroes windows there when I want to equip a hero. So probably for those who usually check for their gear stats after the multi-battle result, probably they will be happy to hear that this feature is back now. For the second enhancement, they also fixed the issue of unable to hold down and select multiple when enhancement materials include gear experience. This one, point number 2, is impacted me the most because I had to select manually one by one in order to sacrifice those gear as a gear enhancement to level up my main gear. So that's nice to hear. Then the third thing would be to fix the error where Urion fails to steal the effect when facing Bruzak. I'm not sure what effect they are referring to. Is it the defense up buff? Because the only buff that Bruzak can put up is, I think, defense up. Or is it referring to allies places buff on Bruzak, like speed up buff and those things? This one I'm not so sure. And the fourth bug fix would be to fix the logic error when Celine attacks multiple targets. So that's basically it on the update notice. So let's check out the new legendary hero, Tashir. So let's check through the index. I believe she's in the free cities. Yep, she's there based on her design. So let's look at it. Wow, look at the animation, it looks so cool. It seems like, you know, like in a space where there's a lot of stars and those things. Yeah, it just reminds me about that. So let's check out her design. Oh, is that a shield? A water shield? Holy cow. This looks so nice. I like the animation on the shield. Wow, amazing. They really upped the character design. And it looks so unique here. This one, I'm not sure what's this. Is it like mini fingers of like, you know, like sea creature Or like similar to what's that called, the ruffle where it has those mini tentacles. And she has some blue hair here to match with her overall theme. And some gold at the border here. And her hand has some kind of like blade. Like, is it water or blue fire? It reminds me of like Protoss, you know, the Templars that has this blade that they just dig into their enemy's body. So this is pretty cool. And wait, why does she have these long ears? It looks like she's an elf. An elf that migrated to free cities. That's strange. An elf with some water armor, cladded with some, you know, armor here. Interesting. Alright, I'm so excited to see what she can do. Wait, let me guess. Based from her armor and design kit, probably is she a tanker? Does she like tank allies, do some defensive maneuvers, and also perform some cool attack? Oh, her design is really, really good. And she's in high heels. Okay, so that's it for the design. Let's head over to the stats. So she has a B rating for her stats, which means she's not an attacker. She has very high health with S rating, so probably she's a tanker with this, you know, with this shield. And A rating defense, so probably some kind of like support defensive like Bruzak, the epic hero. Okay, this is interesting. And her speed is B, but look at the base stat. The base speed stat is 115, so I'll consider this like S or A, man. I think the word here does not synchronize with the number here, because it's quite difficult to get a very high speed. Usually most of the legendary heroes, right, they will have speed like 80 to 90 for those attacker heroes, but this one is a tanker hero with shield, and she's able to like move so fast, probably with the help of her water spells or something like that. So she's like a tanker and a speeder, maybe a speed buffer or something. And her critical rate is pretty low, 5%, so from there I can roughly guess that she's a tanker, or tanker plus a speed buffer or something like that, to go in to maybe apply some buff on her allies to boost up their defense or boost up their speed or do something crazy. Alright, so let's check out her first trait. First trait is light speed, so plus 10 speed to all team members per positive effect. Wow, per positive effect. So let's say, assuming that my heroes have 3 buff, that would be 30 speed. Wow. Okay, wait. 10 speed to all team members per positive effect and enemy obtain. What does an enemy obtain? Can't get it. Do you guys understand this sentence? 10 speed to all team members per positive effect and enemy obtain. Wait, let me read the other sentence. Max 8 stacks and remove at the end of the round. So probably we can reach up to 80 speed. Is that what it's trying to say? 80 speed is like pretty huge, you know. Because let's say if you compare to like Windstrike's an epic hero, she can place a buff, what's it called, a speed buff that provides 50 speed. So this one is roughly 80 speed. Okay, let me check the ascension here. Plus 10 speed to all team members per positive effect and enemy obtain. Max 8 stacks and remove at the end of the round. So once it maxes 80 speed, then you'll be removed. Okay, that sounds pretty bad. Grants attack up to all team members for 1 turn per 6 positive effects enemy obtain. Wait, it seems like you need to steal the positive effect from the enemy, is it? Does it mean that way? So each time you gain a positive effect from the enemy, you gain 10 speed to all team members. I need to check how her light speed trait synergizes with her maybe basic special and ultimate ability here. Okay, the first basic attack here. Meteor Blade deal 100% damage to an enemy with a 60% chance. Apply Frozen for 1 turn. A skill that reminds me about Tia. But this one apply Frozen. As you know that this 15% chance is already included to this 60%. So this is her max skill. So 60% chance to freeze enemy. So she's a crowd controller. Okay, target unable to act and takes 50% more damage from all sources. Attacks on the target have a 50% chance to remove this effect. So basically she's a crowd controller based from base attack, okay. Oh, it's a 60% chance. Okay, let's check out her special ability. Astral Curtain. 3 turns cooldown. Removes all negative effects from a team member and applies critical damage up and speed up buff to the target for 2 turns. Oh, this is a single target buff on an ally. I was hoping to have a legendary hero that removes all negative effects similar to Blackhorn, but seems now that this skill is reminds me about like Joseph, an elite hero, which is also able to remove all negative effects from an ally, but his one is 2 turn cooldown, this one is 3 turns. But this special ability enables to apply this critical damage up and speed up buff. So most probably that this skill would pair well with a slow attacker hero. Usually attacker hero has a lower base speed, so boosting up their speed up will be beneficial for them to bring up their speed so that they can begin their turn before the other enemies. And this critical damage up is much better than having a critical rate up, because most of your attacker heroes will have 100% critical rate. So critical damage is quite good. Quite good too. And there's not many heroes that provide critical damage up. Mostly are attack up buff like Yolanda, Bran, and Joseph. So this is quite interesting. However, this is only a single target buff. Okay, so what's her ultimate ability here? Astrodome, which is a 4 turn cooldown, applies shield and damage sharing for 3 turns. Okay, and removes a positive effect from all enemies if this character has a damage sharing at the end of their turn. Cooldown 1 round. What does it mean by cooldown 1 round? This skill already has 3 turn cooldowns, right? But why does it mention cooldown 1 round? Is it to prevent this ultimate ability to be used again? Usually one hero can only use one ultimate ability unless is it to prevent her from getting bonus turn, then Wind Strikes resetting her ultimate ability again. But that method also does not optimize her abilities as well. Apply shield and damage sharing. So this is the skill that mitigates the damage. Shield is obviously good. Wait, does it mean it's only applying to herself? It doesn't mention applying to all allies. This is interesting. If she applies shield to herself and damage sharing for 3 turns, if it's on herself, basically means she's taking damage from her allies? Does that mean that? This is a new ability, damage sharing. Upon taking damage, the caster also takes some of the damage. This one I need to test her out if I'm able to obtain her to see how these mechanics work, because the skill description does not explain really well here as usual. But I don't get it. It says that removes a positive effect from all enemies if this character has a damage sharing at the end of the round. But it's already placed on herself for 3 turns. It wouldn't remove at the end of the round, right? Unless it's stack, like 3 stack of damage sharing, then that makes sense. But if it's a damage sharing for 3 turns, it wouldn't I mean, this skill distribution is pretty confusing. If it's a 3-stack damage sharing, it makes sense, but this one is a 3 turns. So you'll need to playtest her or to observe other players on how they showcase this hero to fully understand how this mechanic works. So based from reading all of her skill kits, like her Meteor Blade, which is a crowd control, Astral Curtain is like you know, cleansing and buffing heroes, and finally her ultimate ability is most like tanking to mitigate the damage. It's mostly used for PvP, player versus player, or in arena. I don't see how these skills would work well for like arcane dominated dungeon or no man's land dungeon speed farming, because bosses will not get frozen. So basically this making this skill unfeasible. And for Astral Curtain, maybe it has some usage like, you know, Ash Magistra, remove the bomb. I'm not sure this AI is smart enough to, you know, target the enemy, target the ally that has negative effect. Or does it, or does the Tashir AI prioritizes on hero that has the highest attack, just like Yolanda Guard, where it prioritizes the hero that has the lowest health. So I'm not sure about this, the AI, how the AI works on auto. And finally, this Astro Dome, most probably this one will be applying to herself. Then this one will work in the passive mode, where she will take damage from her allies and bring it to herself. So she will tank the damage. Because it will make more sense that if she generates her shield based on her health, and then she tank the damage, and her high rating of defense will mitigate some of the, reduce those damage, then it makes more sense to have these 2 buff to apply to herself. And for her trait, I'm not sure how it synergizes with her skills. Because this sentence doesn't make sense. Unless she's stealing the buff, then they gain 10 speed. And wait, is it like a unique buff for Tashir? Like a unique buff like applied by, you know, Bulin, where she has this induction effect, or like those Jacob applies those defense down buff that cannot be removed. So probably I'm thinking like something like Light Speed is like a special buff with this golden bar around them, or golden frame around them, that applies this 10 speed, so it keep on increasing at the end of the round. Wait, now I think I get it already. So does it mean that when the enemy, probably we should I think this skill distribution could be rewritten as whenever an enemy obtain a positive effect, each positive effect will grant 10 speed to all team members. And this plus 10 speed, right, is a special buff, it's like the opposite of Tia, where she applies this frostbite on the enemy whenever they end their turn. This one is the opposite of Tia, where it applies this light speed buff on her allies whenever the enemy obtains a positive effect. That will make more sense. If that's the case, right, then this means if she is used against like heroes that uses a lot of buffs, like Bran, because Bran is quite popular in the arena right now as the defense team, where there's Metasia, Akrin, and who else? And Bran plus 1 annoying hero like Prop Aura, or like Wing Zachary, or an attacker hero like Garrel. And probably this one would make more sense because they apply a lot of buff on themselves. And so basically they get more speed. But usually in arena, right, if you're going against a tank team, you'll be using an opposite team, which is a nuke team. And your nuke team is usually much faster than them, because the enemy will be mostly prioritizing on health, defense, agility, and resistance. So having additional speed will not really help unless they build their brand with high amount of speed to go in, cleanse away all of those negative effect on their allies. So probably I would revamp this skill a bit. Instead of just providing attack above, maybe like critical damage up. Something like that. For this one, instead of 10 speed, probably like 10 attack stats that boost up the attacks. But since her team is mostly like a defensive hero, I'm not sure why Ace would use speed instead. Maybe it's to like match with the naming and like speed. But not sure how to use her in arena, because most of the arena team will be like speed nuke team comes in. So if you're using a tank team with her, a speed tank team, probably for like Void Tower Heart will be helpful. But usually if you're using a tank team with her, it doesn't make sense as well, because a tank team would be prioritizing like defense and health stats. However, if you're using like a tanky attacker hero like Garo and who's that, Bulin, then probably it will work well with this team composition. So let's check out the Ace Developers Guide. Oh no, there's no guide for her yet. They didn't mention what heroes to be that works well with a specific hero. Probably someone with speed, maybe like attacker hero, like Garo. I think that will work well. So the recommended set for her will be Raptor set. Why Raptor set? I don't understand. She doesn't apply any negative effect, so I'm not sure why she needs focus for that. That set would be good because she can increase her health, so she can tank the initial AoE attack. Raider set maybe is to allow her to go first in the battle to apply those shield and damage sharing. So probably that's why they mentioned. I would recommend to use like a revival set on her instead of Raptor set, because since if she's taking up the most damage, right, from her allies, having a revival set will help to recover her health back. So I would use revival set on her. And guard set, raider set. What else would I use? Maybe a Terra set to improve her health, or Vanguard set. So I would recommend revival set, Vanguard set, Terra set. Guard set is mostly for AoE nuke in arena to tank the first initial attack. Raider set will work well also, but she has a very high base speed, so probably you can get like speed substats or speed boots will work well for her. So let's check out the hero rating. So there's already one player who already obtained her and rated her as a 5 in arena. Then there's one more with a Wrathful Flood. Interesting. Oh yeah, Wrathful Flood, because the boss will apply some shield on themselves, I think. And I think if they put 5 for Wrathful Flood, probably for Queen of Tides, it'll be 5 to tank the damage, like similar to Kayn, the epic hero. That would be an interesting usage of her. Gemini Dragon, I'm not so sure, because she doesn't heal her allies or cleanse away the focus down or those things. We'll need to playtest her to understand how her skill works, and then we will be able to rate her here. So currently there's only 2 ratings. One is the Wrathful Flood and one is for arena offense. Alright, so that's my first impression of Tashir. What do you think about her? Her design looks very cool. I really like her design and how they, and how they put up all those armor and weapons and shield. But the funny thing is, she has a healthy ear, but she's in free cities. And also do leave a comment below, where would you use her based on the skills that is shown in the game here. Her Meteor Blade, Astro Curtain, and Astrodome. Where would you think that you can use her based on these skills, apart from Arena? Alright, so that's it for this video. Do click the like button if you enjoyed this content, and also hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, and ring the notification bell to stay up to date whenever I upload a video to this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!